Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Grub and Talk, where we have awesome conversations with guests and we eat and drink.
Yes, we do drink.
Yeah, I got some drink on me. You don't know what I'm drinking though, but don't worry about it. Just watch this shit.
It's always coffee for me. So.
So, guys, we've reached our final episode. What do you guys think?
Final episode, 20th episode. How crazy is that, guys? Season
believe we've
one,
been
we
going on
wrapped
this
it
long.
up.
Quick.
It did. When did we
Yeah.
start this? We started
But
actually
then-
like production in
The beginning of the year.
last year of September, right?
Well, 9/11.
I'm not too sure.
It's been a long time.
I don't know, but it's been 20 weeks, huh? 20 weeks ago.
2 weekends
Well, I mean,
ago?
we started
20
production.
It don't
early,
really
though.
It was a
matter.
while
But
ago.
it was a while ago. So,
Yeah.
have you guys been keeping company during this quarantine, going on dates and stuff?
Nope.
Not on
Yeah,
dates.
Just home.
Well, you work from home, so you know that's cool for you. But see, I still have to go to work at the office. So it's just for me, it's still the same.
Just
Nothing has
normal.
really
So not
changed.
really any dates or
Yeah.
anything. Okay.
Nice. I've been
But-
My
at home.
commute changed.
Huh?
My commute changed.
Oh well, yeah, because you stay
From my
at home.
bed to my desk.
Oh yeah.
What about for you?
Yeah, actually, I've been doing really well with my boyfriend. We're really happy together. But you know, it's taken me a long time to get to this place in my life where you're actually happy in a relationship. I mean, there's so many toxic people in the world, and you know, it's really hard to get out of a toxic relationship.
Really? Well, see, me, I never been in a toxic relationship, so I wouldn't know how hard it would be to get out of one.
You've never been.
I
in one?
know when things get like sideways, I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm
You
out.
just decided to go.
Yeah, I don't have time for that. You know.
That's awesome. Because for some people, like they don't know how to get out of it. They just feel
Well,
stuck.
yeah, because
like
I was
you-
like, because like sometimes it's like too late, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like I've never had that experience myself because I'm just like Jose. Like once I start seeing that something's going like the way that it shouldn't, or like there's just a lot of shit going on that you just rather not deal with it than not just cut it off. Because it's for me, it's just easier that way
Mm-hmm.
I
than
feel
like
that.
dealing with it and then like because you know then it goes to like I don't know prison visits. And it can escalate to
Yeah,
that
yeah,
point. You know,
sure
there's
that.
a lot of things in the back that I've just.
But
rather
Alexa,
not.
like you were saying, it's hard to get out of one. How you been through one? Through a toxic relationship?
Yeah, I mean, I've been cheated on before. I mean, and what people don't understand is cheating isn't just physical cheating. It's emotional cheating. It's cyber cheating. I mean, in high school, it was terrible. Like one of my relationships I had. I mean, I could kind of tell it was becoming toxic. You know, like you can tell.
You can feel it.
But then I didn't do anything, and I feel so dumb now. But at least I learned from that.
As long as you learn, that's the only thing that
I-
matters.
I think really it's about seeing the red flags at an early stage and then, you know, getting out then. If you don't get out then it's harder to get out later. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Has there ever been like a time where you would try to make it work?
Yeah, I mean, I did try to make it work. I mean, because usually, you know, I try to be compassionate towards the person and try to give it my all. But you can tell when someone's not giving it their all. So you're putting in like all your effort and all your compassion towards this person, and they just don't care.
So you're trying to make it work, and they're just like whatever.
Yeah. So at that point, like, what's the point? I mean, you're making yourself anxious and unhappy for a person who doesn't even care about you. I mean,
That is true.
that I mean, I wish I
Did you
got
feel
out of
like
those
you were
sooner.
ever like losing yourself a little bit trying to make that person happy?
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to, you know, please this other person, and you know, you're losing a little bit of yourself because you can be giving that time to yourself, like taking care of yourself.
Right.
And I think
I agree
that's
on
what
that.
people, they don't understand. Like the most important thing to be happy is be happy for yourself first. Because if you're not happy for yourself first, then you're not going to be happy with someone else.
Yeah, and I think the reason for that too is also because like they're probably afraid of being alone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
And some people just get into a relationship because they're afraid of just being by themselves.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because there's not those people that just like move from one relationship to another just because they can't be alone too.
Those people
so
are annoying. I
Yeah.
hate people like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Mainly for me, the only toxic relationships that I had before are because I was in high school and you see that person every fucking day at school and you have a reputation to hold up and like you have friends and they know your friends and all that shit. But yeah, I know how you feel. you can see the red flags, but sometimes you're like, oh, maybe I could change them. Maybe they can change. If they love me, they can change. Maybe
You have
if
a
I
little
give
bit of hope.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
if I give more fucks, they'll give more fucks. But I know how you feel. I've done what you've done, and I've done what you've done. Depending on how I feel about the person, I could just be like, fuck this shit, like I'm out, bitch. Or I could be like, maybe I could try this out. You feel me? But I think toxic relationships happen with younger people mainly, because as we get older, I feel like people mature more,
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
people can see like, this isn't for me. But when you're young, you're still figuring yourself out. You're figuring out what you like,
Right.
So you're kind of like, well, I like this girl, she's pretty, but like then you realize she has an ugly personality, and you're like, prettiness or a horrible personality, and that's when you kind of like look at it,
I think a lot of people
Yeah.
get stuck in that situation where they're really attracted to a person, but if the emotional connection is not there, it's not going to last in the long run. But you said something about only younger people, right? Honestly, I disagree with that, because there's a lot of adults, they're in a marriage, they're stuck in a marriage, they want to get out.
That's true.
I mean, you got to think also like domestic abuse and stuff, like spousal abuse. I
That's
mean,
true.
that's a really real thing that people don't talk about.
But see,
a
like
lot.
that, I feel like because there's kids involved, so that's
Yeah.
kind of changes
Yeah.
everything up a
Exactly.
little
Yeah,
bit.
definitely when there's kids
It's
involved. I
mainly
mean,
because of the kids, like
yeah.
But also, I mean, if you're getting beat, leave. You're not happy, leave.
But I mean, that's
Yeah.
something easier said than done.
That is
type of
true.
Thing,
Yeah.
because
it's different for everyone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, yeah. And when you think about it, right, mainly the people that are in marriages that are toxic, they stay for the kids. And yeah, when you're single, you don't have kids, you're just like, fuck it, I'd leave. But when you have kids, you have to think about how the fuck they'd feel, how they would feel growing up, how they would react to it, the psychology that goes behind it. And some people just can't have their kids go through that. And that's why they stay on some fuck shit. then
And they just
wait
stay unhappy
Yeah,
for their kids' sake.
until
Yeah.
the kids get old enough. And then once the kids are old enough, they dip. But that's never healthy, at all.
yeah, it's not good for the person at all.
So you said you had good relationships in high school and toxic ones.
Yeah, definitely.
What are some of the signs that you can tell us and the viewer to look out for? Like, what are some red flags that you've gone through?
It starts off with like insecurity, I feel like when you give someone a chance, if they were never confident at first, say I was a girl, right, and I give a guy a chance and that guy was never confident, it's just not going to be good. They have to have confidence, they have to love themselves. If they just pull up to you and they're unconfident and you're over here trying to make them feel good all the time and they're insecure about what you do, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do that. I don't know, it starts off like that with little restrictions, and then later on, it turns into like
controlling.
They control you, like, oh, if you love me, you wouldn't fucking go here, you wouldn't do this. And it's understandable, some people have the way they think, but I think there's like a fine what is it called, a white line or whatever, there's like
Fine
a certain
line.
fine
Yeah.
line, and some people cross that line without thinking about it,
Right.
and it's understandable if you want to be a little bit controlling, I get that, but there's some people that just, for example, one of my exes, we had a bad day at school, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I got home and I just wanted to take a nap. I took a nap. She was blowing up my phone. I woke up. Long story short, she was like, I'm in the car with my mom. If you don't fucking call me or whatever, I'm going to jump out the car. And I was just like,
She gonna jump out?
Just because you wouldn't answer the phone?
She was on some like
Oh
emo
my
shit.
gosh,
And I was just like, look, no one's stopping you. Unlock the fucking car. Take off your seatbelt and jump the fuck out. And yeah, she didn't do it because I'm like, bitch, you're not gonna like, I don't care about you enough. Like, if you really jumped out the car, I'd be like, all right, moving on to the next bitch. You're not that important. I was like in 10th grade, like,
Wow.
this is not my life. You're not my fucking soulmate, bitch. Like, it wasn't that big of a deal. I could just get another one. At the time, that's what I thought. And that's the way it is. I feel like the people that stay in toxic relationships are people that are not strong enough mentally to hurt somebody. They'd rather be hurt than hurt others. And there's a lot of people that are like that love to make other people happy because that makes them happy. But like she said, if you don't focus on your own individual happiness, it's just not going to be good. Yeah, it's not going to work out. If you just focus on the other person, because you're going to want to please them at your own happiness. You're going to be at your own expense,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like over time, you're just losing yourself, and then you stop hanging out with the people that you normally hung out with, and then like who's that person,
Yeah, some guy that just pulled up, some girl that just pulled up into your life.
Exactly.
It's like, nah, man.
So what are some of the signs that you've seen? Like, I know you said you don't like believe in toxic relationships, you just cut it out.
Right.
But I mean, like, in your experience, what are some like red flags that you notice and you're like, I'm done. Bye.
Honestly, like for me, one thing is trust. So like if you don't have that, then I mean, don't even bother.
Well, yeah, I feel like if
Right,
there's no
yeah.
trust, there's no relationship.
I mean, what is it really?
Yeah.
I mean,
That
there's
simple.
no foundation. Exactly.
Yeah, so like that when they're like, oh, I don't like if you do this, this, and this, and this. I'm like, okay, well, like I've
That's
done
who I
it
am,
before
right?
and stuff like and like, why? You know, like you can trust me to go ahead and do whatever I'm gonna do. It's not like I'm gonna go and cheat or do anything like that because I'm not. That's not the type of person I am.
You're right.
But I mean, it's just. Sorry.
Hey, some shade. What
Do you know something that I don't or we don't know?
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I don't think Frankie would cheat. Nah, he's a good guy. He's
Yeah,
a
I
good
legit.
guy. Ladies.
Thank you.
He's
All the
he's
good guys
single.
cheat.
Hey.
That's not true. I've never.
I'm just
cheated.
kidding.
Yeah.
Like, why cheat? You could just break up with the person. Like, I don't know.
Exactly.
Cheating is just stupid. Like,
Exactly.
So okay,
That's
like
immature.
I mentioned earlier, there's different kinds of cheating. What kind of cheating do you think is the worst?
physical.
like
What
it-
the fuck?
Okay.
Like, if your girl's texting somebody, all right, you can cut that shit out. But like, if she fucks someone, there's no way you can reverse that. That's just already like
okay.
Because some people consider like emotional
how.
connection cheating, but I don't.
It depends. Like, if you're flirting with somebody all the time and you're like, you know, like giving off that vibe that they
And you're
gave
starting
you
to get the feelings for
Yeah, it makes
I
sense.
think
But
that's-
if they're
yeah.
just like, oh, that's my friend, and you see that it's nothing, all right. But if they start giving you the same signs that they gave you in the beginning before y'all dated, like where she was flirting with you,
Mhm.
she was trying to
Mhm.
talk to you, she'd hit you up. Of course, that's cheating. Like, what the fuck are you doing looking for someone else when you already have somebody?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Exactly.
I'll be like, hey, the door's right there. Get some gloves. We're gonna throw it down.
I do consider that cheating because it happened to me. One time I was dating this person and he was texting these other girls, and then this girl hits me up. She sends me a message and she's like,
Mhm.
"Hey, control your man. Like he's like flirting with me and sending me like he wants me to send him nudes and all this." I'm like, "What the hell?" And then like after that, like we broke up, and it was just it was bad. It was really bad.
That is crazy.
I mean,
What?
I knew like they were being distant at the time, but I didn't know that was going on. And when I found that out, and like for a girl to actually text me and say, "Hey,
yeah.
control this guy," like
Mhm.
he's doing this, I'm like, "What the hell?" Like,
But see,
why
that's
would
what-
you do that?
That's what
If-
that's
see,
what I
like,
don't. Oh my bad. Go ahead. I'll let you
Yeah,
finish.
like if you're gonna do that, just break it off. Like that's toxic.
Exactly.
Like
That's the
why are you
point.
gonna hurt another person over something stupid?
Like,
Just
clearly-
tell them
like
you don't
clearly
like
you're not
kudos
ha-
to
you're
her
not-
though. Kudos to that girl
Yeah,
because
actually-
she
actually
reached out
told
to
me.
you know like
Yeah, exactly.
I was
I'm-
saying, like, clearly he doesn't like you because he's over there looking for another girl.
right.
So why does he still
What's the
keep
point?
you there? Like, it
Yeah.
makes no sense to
waste
me.
time.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
But
why you
why
cut 'em
waste
off.
people's time? I don't get it.
Everyone has a different
That's
mindset.
something I don't understand.
I wanted to bring this up. I know it's kind of random, but a good example of a toxic relationship that's with celebrities, and y'all people know these people, YG and Kalani. That was pretty toxic, and she talks about it in her album, and I actually listened to it, and yeah, you know, even celebrities, it doesn't matter whether you have money or whatever, like you can still be toxic at that level, and
Mhm.
it's crazy because you know you would have never thought that people at that level of success would even give a shit about doing fucked up things, but people are people, you know, and yeah, I know how you guys like. I know how you guys are as guys, you know, because like I'm a guy and like yeah, you see the red flags, you're like, oh, she's doing this, like fuck this shit. But sometimes you always have like that. Maybe I can change him. You always have that little like,
You know, that's true. And that's probably
Yeah,
hasn't
yeah.
happened to me yet. So
because you don't have
So you just
feelings
haven't
for someone like
experienced
that.
that
Yeah, you never
yet.
really been like,
So,
Yeah.
I fuck with this person so heavy that I can change them. You're just like, no, I could just fuck this shit. I feel you. I've been on
Mhm.
both sides, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
when you think like, oh, I can change them, it never works because you shouldn't change them. I mean, you could try to change them for the better, like, but not like on some crazy shit, you know.
yeah.
I think changing it for the better is the way to go. Like if you grow together
Yeah.
as people, I think that's totally fine. You know, and you change, you know, for the better, like whether it's, you know, motivating each other or whatever it is. I think
Oh.
that's okay. But changing them because you don't like certain things about a person. I mean, everybody has flaws. Everybody has something you're not gonna like. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter. Like
True.
we probably all in this room have something like one thing maybe we don't like about each other. I mean, you guys are brothers. Come on, right?
More than
You can't
10.
love everything about your brothers, right?
Oh, for Frankie, I have a whole list.
Oh,
I got a list for myself too.
You got a list for yourself?
Definitely.
Exactly. And see, like, there's little things that we don't like about ourselves too. And that can cause insecurity in relationship as well. So you got to be really careful about that. That's why we said before, it's so important to care for yourself first.
Yeah, you gotta
Self-love.
love yourself first before you can love anyone else.
I'll tell you guys something.
That's true.
This is like the first red flag a guy should look out for. If your girl has a male best friend, just don't bother. Cause that guy is her best friend because he's trying to get with her. Like, you know, guys don't want to be best friends with girls for no reason. Like, it's because they're in the friend zone. And she has a best friend. And she's like, I'm going to go hang out with my best friend. Just don't trust that hoe. You feel me? Like, fuck that shit. That's literally, if that's in a relationship. Because I dealt with it, you know.
Okay.
One time I was dating
So you know
this girl.
from experience.
Yeah, I was dating this girl and she had a best friend and I was broke as fuck at the time and I couldn't take her like winter formal. And she told me she was gonna go by herself and she went with them and they took photos like a couple and I was like,
You drop your names out here?
no, I'm not. But after that, I was
No
like,
names.
I just broke up with her. I was like, fuck this. You pretty much cheated on me. You went on a date with this guy. How do I know you didn't kiss him or fuck him? You know, there's no way. At that point, I'm not gonna trust you because you never mentioned the fact that you went with him. You said you went by
Okay,
yourself.
yeah. At least if you're gonna have the guy best friend or female best
Don't
friend
have
or I don't believe that. I mean,
well, you're a girl, but how would you like it if you dated a guy and he was always hanging out with his girl best friend? You have to think about it this way: she's always gonna be against you, talking shit about you, making that person break up with you. Like it's not something you want.
Well, not necessarily because it depending on the type of relationship they have. Like maybe
that's true. Because
you know?
I mean, I have a guy best friend. I mean, I've always had a guy best friend.
Shit, for me, it's never worked out because I guess
Really?
I find women who are fucking.
I think you are right though. I think whoever it is, if a person has a best friend going into a relationship, I think there's always that factor where, oh, are they gonna get together or is there something going on there?
Right.
I mean, that definitely is a factor, but I don't think it's always true. It's not always true.
Yeah, off of my experience, I was in high school. You know, people are in high school. You know, shit always goes down. So yeah, but maybe you know, at the age that we're at now, you know, we're all older now. I feel like maybe, you know, people are more mature. That'd be a little bit different, you know?
Yeah, but like I feel you on that because in high school when I was dating my ex, I had a girl best friend and like she didn't like her for shit. She had so many trust issues with her and stuff.
She
that
got
I was like,
jealous and stuff?
yeah, and I was like, she's legit just
Yeah,
a
I
friend.
remember.
Like, what would she
I would
do?
always
Like,
hear
what are
too.
some things that she would do?
That's
Like,
a little bit
you
toxic
could-
right there.
Yeah,
Explain that.
and like
Hey, yeah, Mr. No Toxic. Come on. Toxic relationships don't have to be just romantic too. They
no,
could be
right,
anything.
I know. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why I cut her off. But
Toxic
I was
best
like,
friends, definitely.
chill. Like, it's not like that. She's legit just a best friend. She's actually with my brother.
Oh, dang.
Okay, hold up.
Wait, which brother was
I'm
she?
not saying
If she-
names.
No,
Oh.
if she was dating your brother, I wouldn't. Like, if she was in your family dating someone else, why trip?
Right?
Yeah, 'cause
Exactly.
your brother would be trash.
So
Exactly.
she was
Yeah.
a little bit jealous.
That's a little bit too
Just a
much. You
little.
know?
Yeah.
If it was just like some best friend and she just had nothing to do with your brother, then yeah, I get it. But if she's dating your brother,
Exactly.
what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, like she had a little
Yeah,
bit.
she a crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Good thing you left, bro.
That's crazy, man. I
Took
don't
me a
know.
while, but I left.
But that's like the only thing that you had experience with.
Pretty sure you've had more. Come on, you know you've had more.
That I can think of. That would be like the only thing.
Think
I
about
mean, because like regardless, like whichever girl it was,
Mm-hmm.
she would always hate him and just be like, "Oh, there's something up. There's something up."
Well,
there's something
think
up."
about it,
Really?
bro.
Like,
So she didn't trust
yeah,
you?
Like, she no. This is what she said. She's like, "I trust you. I just don't trust the girls
That's
that
what
are
they
Oh
always
with
say.
you."
my
Like,
God. Oh my
I feel that though. I can understand that. You know, the
I
thing
think
is,
I think in general girls do get a little jealous. Like I mean, as
Definitely.
guys, you can definitely vouch for that.
definitely,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's just for example,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to relationships like that, I try to be friends with the best friend, but typically when it's a guy best friend, they don't like me. They're like, fuck you, because you know you're doing shit with the girl that they're trying to be with, or that's their best friend.
Right.
So I was never able to establish a friendship with their best friends because their best friends are always like, I would call them betas, you know? They'd be betas.
Right.
And I'd be on some alpha shit, and I just couldn't be friends with them, and then it just wouldn't work. You feel me? And they would get mad when I'd kiss my girl in front of them, when I'd touch her ass. Like they just wouldn't like it. So I'm like, why the fuck are you? Or they would always try to be third wheeling, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, go eat a dick. Like, let me be with my girl alone. Like, it just, you know, it's just
Right.
shit like that. And for me, mainly when it came to high school, it was either they had a guy best friend, or they were really attached,
Mm-hmm.
or they just were too young. That honestly, you know, I would date girls that were a year younger than me, 2 years younger, and like it was never a good idea. You know, I think dating older women is the way to go for me. I think for me, that's what I'm gonna do is just date older women.
More wiser.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
But Andrew, so out of here, everyone here, you have the most relationship with toxics,
Yeah.
right?
I would assume. I mean, I dated a lot of girls in high school, and a lot of them were immature.
All right,
So-
but hold on. Like, let me ask you this: have any of them stalked you or anything like that?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Really, bro?
Really?
Yeah, definitely. I would
Dude.
even after I broke up with them, they would like follow me around, have their friends follow me. Like they would make different accounts to follow me on Instagram.
Oh my god.
That's
Like,
crazy.
See,
Fuck
that's the
that.
thing that scares me now is the whole social media with dating. Like it changes the game. Like because you can just stalk someone, you can look someone up, you know, you can know so much about them. And then like when you meet a person, you know this stuff about them, and they're like, what the heck? Like how did you stalk me? Like
But you know what's funny? When they like a picture from like 38
yeah. It's like, why are you liking the old pictures?
Why you going that down? Why you going back like that? You creepy. You know?
Yeah.
But when it comes to adults, right? You know, I understand that most of them are toxic. I would assume is because of the kids, you know, because personally, my parents, I'm not gonna lie, they were toxic as fuck, and that's my mom stayed with them because of us, you know. But once we got old enough, she got tired of that shit, and then boom, you feel me? And I know a lot of people like that like they stay because of the kids, and that just causes a lot of bullshit, you know, a lot of bullshit, and it sucks.
Yeah, have you ever been like super heartbroken in one point where it took you forever to get over it?
Not forever. I've been heartbroken once. Took me like a year, but that shit was toxic. So I don't really give a fuck. That shit was really, really toxic. And that was the last relationship I was in before the one I'm in right now. You feel me? That one was that shit was bad. That shit was a waste of my fucking time. You feel me?
I mean, I think the longest time it took me to get over someone, I think it took me like 6 months at one time. And it was hard. Like, I was just depressed. And
How long were you with that person?
I was with that person for almost a year. Yeah.
Okay,
It was hard.
Francisco,
what
what about you?
we're talking about me, but what about you?
Oh, what's up?
yeah,
You've been
you.
so.
Ask me.
All right, let me ask you
me.
a few questions. Ready?
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a toxic relationship?
No.
What have you done to avoid it then? Tell me.
I left.
Why? Give me your reasons. What are the
Yeah.
red flags? I'm about to fucking press you. What's up?
All right. So one of the red flags was she would tell me, "Oh, you can't talk to this girl. You can't talk to that girl." For me, that's like a big no-no because you don't tell me who I can talk to and not to. You know, like
Going back
like
to
the
trust
way
and
I see it is like you do you and I'll do me.
Okay.
Right?
And have that trust together.
Exactly.
that-
And
yeah.
then if she can tell me, "Oh, you can't talk to that girl for whatever reason," I don't give a fuck. If I want to talk to her, I'm gonna talk to her.
Okay.
And then that's a red flag for me.
What else?
What else? She don't reply. No, I'm just kidding.
She left you on red or what?
No, I feel that. Sometimes they take forever to respond. You're like, all right, bitch.
No,
I'll
I
get
understand.
back." Yeah.
Shit's always popping up.
no,
No,
but I
yeah,
understand
yeah.
Well,
that too.
also
with,
too,
like,
because we're adults. I mean, you know, you have jobs, you have school, whatever. You know, you don't need to. I think in high school, that's more of a high school thing. Like you text each other like
Yeah.
every second.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm guilty. I was guilty of that in high
No,
school.
I was too.
well, because
Yeah.
that's different.
You know,
'cause
you
have, like,
hang
more
out
time on
and
your
you
hand,
get
and now
picked up,
it's
whatever.
like,
You're texting her, "Hey, how you doing?"
because like
Yeah,
right
all
now,
this
like
shit.
I suck at responding. Like it's like 1 or 2 business days for like.
That's why you're single,
5
bro.
business days.
But yeah, like
You want to talk? Call me.
back to you before I get to you real quick. How many quote unquote toxic relationships have you avoided? If you would say, what are some examples of people that you've avoided being with because of red flags like that? I'm pretty sure not everybody gave you the same red flags. Give me some other examples.
Honestly, so far just one.
Just one.
Yeah,
one?
that's all. it
That's
took me,
good,
bro.
man. Good for you.
I was like, yeah, because before I get with someone, I make sure, like, I put them like on a 3-month trial.
trial? Your Netflix subscription has
Yeah, no.
been canceled.
Fuck. Hey, get this shit.
Hey, give it your all the first 3 months. And that, once you're in, you're in.
I unsubscribed to my free trial
You'd
now.
be surprised. Like,
Oh my
girls
gosh,
be
dude.
so different, and then once you actually like date them, they change up so much.
Definitely.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's
I've
true.
heard
That's
that
why
about
I do
marriages
that,
too.
You know?
Yeah,
That's
I've
true.
heard that about marriages.
And then also when you move in, it's a whole different thing too.
Oh, I haven't been there yet.
then
so,
you,
I mean,
then
that-
you,
yeah.
that I
I
heard
haven't
of.
been there yet either. But then you really get to know like their
'cause you're
habits
all-
and stuff.
Yeah, like you're.
I mean, you
Oh.
get to see how they're really like.
To you, I know you had some examples. I'm not gonna bug you right now, but I'm gonna come back to you.
What's up?
I'm right here
So-
waiting for you, Andrew.
You said you avoided, a little bit of the red flags, right? Have you ever given off any red flags? Has anyone left you because of some shit, or have you always been the perfect dude?
Well, I mean, I don't think I've been the perfect dude, but like, I've been the one that left.
So
Not
you're
good.
always
So you
you're always the
always do that.
heartbreaker.
Dang,
Pretty
little
much.
heartbreaker.
Yeah, heartbreaker gang, I guess. That's cool.
Watch out, ladies.
Hey, watch out. All right, but other than that, right? I know you dated a girl in high school, right? We're not gonna name names, right? besides that shit,
You
that
can refer back to videos.
but since you mentioned some stuff, what were some stuff that was kind of like, fuck, if she goes a little bit more beyond this, I might leave her? What was some stuff that just made you say,
Like, what made you finally decide?
yeah, well, what was everything like, before y'all broke up?
Well, I mean, it wasn't just like certain things. It was like everything at the end.
Mhm.
Because I honestly just, I love her. I just wasn't in love with her. But it was something that I was with her for like the whole high school time. So like it's just something that I was kind of used to.
You just got bored of her, bro.
Oh,
That's all you
okay.
did. You just got bored of her.
You can-
I mean, that happens. I mean, that happens.
No,
Yeah, and then
I
like
got you.
I mean, at the same time, you're still trying to figure out yourself when you're in high school. And, like
Exactly,
that's my
yeah.
high school sweetheart. So I mean,
And then they expect you to like be perfect and shit. You're like, I'm still learning,
Yeah.
let me be me. I might fuck up every now and then. Like you fuck up too. But some people like they see you like when people date you, some people might see you up here when you're really over here. You feel
You
me?
put
Right.
people on
They
that
expect all this
pedestal.
bullshit,
Yeah,
but it
you
ain't
put
like
people
that.
on a
Yeah.
pedestal. It's not reachable, you know.
Whoa.
Well, in that case, guys, that's all we have time for today. And wow, 20 episodes. Let's beat it next season. Let's do some new stuff. You guys ready?
I'm excited for it.
I'm ready
You
for
guys
season
get ready.
2.
It's gonna have a lot of changes.
I'm ready for season 3 actually. I don't know
Season
about
3.
2.
Whoa,
Yeah.
you got some
Holy
ideas, man? You
shit.
got some
Yeah, I
ideas
got some
already?
ideas.
Homies in 2023.
He's in the future.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. And please make sure to share, like, and subscribe that YouTube button channel. Thank you.
Subscribe. Help us
Also-
get to 100 subscribers, guys.
100
We're almost there.
subscribers.
And before you go, if you watch this shit all the way, right? If you're in a toxic relationship, what are you doing in it? Think about everything. This video should have gave you some like knowledge. That's what this is knowledge. And instead of pressing the button, smash that shit. You feel me? Fucking smash that shit.
And think about it. Is it really worth it?
And how old are you? Is this really who you want to be with for the rest of your life? Like, is it really gonna work out? Do you really want to have kids with this person? If you're not willing to have a kid with that person, you've been with them for a while, then maybe you shouldn't be with them. Maybe it just don't work out. So think about that. Before you continue what you're doing.
All right.
Deuces.
Fuck.
Signing off.